I'm trying to record this video before the sun goes down because natural lighting is the best light. But anyway, what's up everybody? It's your boy Jrod. Thank you for tuning into my channel today. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and we can get started. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about, is your Dominican lover legit? Do they actually love you or are they just abusing you? So I did a video similar to this a few months ago titled I'm being used in the Dominican Republic, or being used in the Dominican Republic, something like that. By the way, I just took a shower, so that's why my face looks super oily, because I just put moisturizer on my face. So if you're wondering why I look shiny, that's why. But anyway, so just excuse that. So some of the things that I state in this video, it can kind of apply to this video, but this video is more specifically about relationships in the DR. And I was inspired to do this video because, believe it or not, I have so many people that DM me on Instagram. There's so many messages from different subscribers who are telling me like, hey, I'm dealing with somebody in the DR. You know, I'm trying to talk to this girl in the DR, yada, 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 but I don't know if she's trying to use me. Or it'll be girls, they'll say the same thing like, man, I'm talking to this Dominican guy and yada, yada, yada. And they'll ask me like, how do I know if this person is legit? So in this video, I'm going to be able to give you a couple of tips on how to know if somebody is actually legit in the Dominican Republic in terms of relationship. Now, I will say this, that it's just because a person does one of these things that I'm about to state in this video doesn't automatically make that person a chappy or somebody who you can't trust, or, you know, a gold digger or whatever. But if this person is doing many of these things that I'm listing in this video, then that's when I would say you need to reconsider that relationship and see like, is that person actually for you or just for what you have? Okay, so the first one is kind of obvious. If the girl is just right off the bat asking for like crazy amounts of money and you just met the person, I'm talking about like you haven't established a relationship or anything with this person and they're already just asking for money like crazy, then you just need to pay attention. It could be a red flag. I'm not necessarily saying that this person doesn't care about you or this person isn't a legit person, but usually when somebody's just like already asking you for a lot of money, and this is just going based on my personal experience dating in the Dominican Republic, if somebody is asking you for a lot of money right off the back and it's like y'all barely know each other, then that could be a red flag. The next thing, if they are already getting emotionally attached too quickly and they're saying things like, I love you and this and that and the third, and y'all haven't even been together for a month, it's kind of hard for me to believe that this person really loves me. I'm not saying that love doesn't happen at first sight, but how can you already be in love with a person, you know, after 1 week of dating? And I've done that before, like where I've been with somebody and they're already texting me like, you are the love of my life and yada, 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 yada. Or is it my bank account is the love of your life? No, I'm joking. No, I'm totally joking. But yeah, so if somebody is like getting extremely attached, like just way too quickly. Now I will say this about dating in the Dominican Republic. It usually is much faster than it does move in the United States. I know in the United States, we typically kind of play around and it takes us a minute for, I guess, us men to be committed to a woman. I will say that is true, that in the United States, things move a lot slower because in the Dominican Republic, it just seems like everybody is always booed up or somebody is in a relationship. And if you're single, it's almost weird. It's kind of like, especially if you're a single woman, if you have like, I had a friend from America who went down there and she was telling everybody she was single and they were kind of like, what? You single? Like, where your nigga at? You know? And it was just kind of unusual. So I understand that like love does move quicker in the Dominican Republic compared to the United States. But I'm sorry if it's like, we only been knowing each other for 2 weeks and you already saying like, you are the love of my life and mi amor, yada, 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 which they do say mi amor. Everybody says mi amor. That's just like common Dominican talk. Like everybody says that. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people saying like, you're the love of my life and, you know, I can't live without you and stuff like that. If they doing all this in the very like early stages, you got to be careful. It could be a red flag. All right, so the next thing, if your significant other, let's say they want to go places and they're always throwing out places like, hey, I want to go here, let's go here, but they ain't trying to put forth money or they ain't trying to provide or put in for anything, then it could be a red flag. I don't know, I find it weird sometimes when like people will hit you up and be like, I want to go to this place and that place and this place, and like they ain't trying to put forth any type of money. If they just start constantly like hitting you up saying like, I want to go to this place, that place, this place and this place, and they're never trying to put forth any money. Now I understand like us guys, it's like typically guys, I would say like on the first date or whatever, first couple of dates, we normally like take care of everything. But if you start getting serious with someone and they not trying to put in for anything, or they ain't trying to provide for nothing, that potentially could be a red flag. Okay, this is another one, and I kind of said this one in that other video I did about title being used in the Dominican Republic. But if you tell your significant other no about money and they get mad and cut you off, that is an automatic red flag. Because something that I have had to do in the Dominican Republic and explain to people about how America works, a lot of people have the perception that Americans are just like these super rich people. And, you know, I always have to tell them, like, when a lot of Americans come down to the Dominican Republic, a lot of these people are not rich. A lot of these people, they save for several months before they take a vacation out here. And usually that money that they do have, they're just kind of flexing it around or throwing it around because, one, they're on vacation, but two, because the cost of living is way cheaper in the Dominican Republic. The things that you could do with $100 in the United States doesn't even compare to what you can do with $100 in the Dominican Republic. You can do a lot more with $100 in the DR than you can in the United States. So when you do have to explain to certain people like, hey, yo, I got bills in the United States, or I got other priorities that I'm taking care of in the United States, if they can't understand that and they can't accept that, then you got to cut these people off. That's not a true relationship. I feel like if you're in a relationship, they should be understanding about those things. Now, I'm not saying that you can't provide for your significant other. I definitely believe, especially as a man, you will want to provide for your woman. I mean, what guy wouldn't want to provide for their woman? Like, you know, don't be a cheap ass. But if, like, let's just say she needs like a big sum of money, or she's asking for like a lot of money, and you say you don't got it, if she cuts you off, or for the ladies, if the guy cuts you off and they just try to get mad, if they try to get mad at you and flip the situation on you, then you got to cut these people off. I don't think they're really legit partners. One common thing that you'll see in the Dominican Republic with people like that is they'll try to manipulate the situation and be like, oh, well, Poppy, if you love me, then you will give me money. You don't love me, or blah, 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 blah. Don't fall for the manipulation schemes. That is very common down there. Another thing, this one is really, really obvious and easy, but I can't tell you how many times someone messages me and says like, man, I tried to find a girl in Sosua, and that's already like where you messing up. Why do y'all go to these tourist areas to try to find quote unquote quality women? I keep saying this on my channel that if you go into places like, I don't know, like Punta Cana or Sosua, like those places where those type of women like to hang out, I'm talking about the choppies or whatever, like you're not gonna get a serious relationship out of that. I'm sorry, like you kind of just asking for that. You kind of asking to be set up. Those girls, I tell people, it's like, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's not meant to be taken seriously. Like those people, that's their normal thing. That's what they do. So if you go into these tourist areas and you're seeing these girls like on the beach, and you know they're just being very, very flirtatious, and they're playing the role that, you know, they're gonna be committed and this and that and the third, like, dude, just keep your guard up. Just keep your guard up. Like, don't trust it. And they're telling you all these things and they're making you feel like a king, and they'll tell you like you're the sexiest person in the world, yada yada yada. Don't get manipulated. Don't fall for it. Next thing, if the woman doesn't want you around their friends or their family, be careful about that as well. Because one thing I will say about Dominican women, and I said that in another video I made about dating in the DR, is that Dominican women, they tell their family everything. They tell their friends everything. It's kind of like people know about you before you even meet their people, you know? Like they tell everybody everything. So if they're like hesitant to show you around to their family or their people, that could be a sign that they're trying to hide something. Or that can just be a sign that they don't want nothing serious, and you know, they're just trying to play it off. But I feel like if a Dominican girl is serious with you, then she wouldn't mind showing you around to her people. If she's really hesitant to showing you around her personal people, like her family or her friends, then you definitely want to be on the lookout for that. Okay, so if you start getting involved in a relationship with somebody and they start hitting you up with all the stories, yada yada yada, I gotta do this for my family, you know, I gotta pay for this, or I don't have this, yada yada yada. I mean, it just be so many different stories. I got like a whole book of different excuses from people who I've talked to in the DR. If they start hitting you up with all these different stories, sometimes they be lying. I'm just gonna be straight up. Like sometimes people be lying and they just be trying to get like a couple of dollars. I done had people say like, oh, I gotta get my mom a gift for Mother's Day, or, you know, I gotta do this and that for my daughter's birthday or whatever. Like people just they will say anything or to do anything. And I just feel like with those little stories, you just gotta be careful. If you're gonna like give money, I just say do it with somebody who you know personally. I wouldn't even really do it with somebody who's a random stranger or a girl who you just meeting, because like I said, you never know what people's intentions are and what they could be doing. And if they're always hitting you up with these different types of excuses and stories, then that could be a sign that they're trying to play you. I mean, but I'm not gonna say be dismissive to like when someone's in need, because the reality is that it is a third world country, and so people legit do have reasons for why they're asking for money. So I'm not saying be like dismissive or whatever, but I'm just saying just be careful not to get used and abused, because I mean it can easily happen. I feel like the good heart in everybody is just always like, oh, I just gotta do this, I gotta do that. But like, guys, I'm just telling you, you need to be careful, because like I said, people will make up stories. I done seen it where people done lied about stuff like that, even the smallest little things. So you just definitely want to be careful when getting into situations like that. I will say this though, do expect to come out of pocket when you're in a relationship in the DR. Like, don't get used. I always tell people that if you wouldn't get used in the United States, then why go to another country and get used the same way? Like, if you wouldn't pay for somebody's rent in the United States, then why would you pay for somebody's rent in the Dominican Republic? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why people go to these different countries and they just start acting like they're a completely different person. Like, stick to your morals, stick to your beliefs. Don't do anything that you wouldn't do in the United States in the Dominican Republic. If you wouldn't get played by somebody in the United States, then don't get played by somebody in the Dominican Republic. I mean, it's really not that hard, but some people make it more difficult than what it really has to be. Are all Dominican people scams and snakes? No. Like, I've been in legit relationships with real, like, genuine people, you know. Thankfully, I haven't really been in relationships with scams, or at least I was able to cut it off early before, you know, getting played or getting taken advantage of. I done been in friendships, you know, with fake people, but as far as like relationships, usually I'm able to spot it a mile away. No, not all Dominican people are bad people. There are definitely some good people. And I don't want you to think that just because somebody asks you for money, or if a woman asks you for money, that automatically means that they're choppy or they're trying to take advantage of you. But what I will say, it's all about how they act if you can't provide. Like, it's all about their attitude when you tell them you can't do something. If you tell them that you can't do something and they can't respect that and they try to blow up on you and get mad about that, that just should automatically show you what type of person they are. There are going to be some legit stories with people, like women legit telling you like their situation. I'm not saying that these situations aren't true in the Dominican Republic, but I do advise people to take precaution and making sure that, you know, you're dealing with somebody who's legit. So I guess the big question is, how do you know if somebody's legit? There is no real calculated formula that says if X, Y, and Z are aligned, then that's going to equal this. Like, really, you just have to go based off of your intuition and trusting your own judgment. I mean, seriously, that's just what you have to do at the end of the day. I'm not going to be able to be there to judge the entire situation and see the ins and outs of it. So you as an adult have to take that responsibility to figure out if this person is legit or not. Like I said, I done gave you a list of different things for you to kind of help decide and make your decision. But at the end of the day, it is up to you. And every person is different and it's a case-by-case situation. Just because one person does this doesn't automatically make them a chappy. And just because the person plays with you and tells you all these nice things doesn't automatically make that person a genuine person. Like, I feel like you have to use your own judgment to figure these things out. I will say this, I do respect that a lot of older people come to me for advice. Like, it's crazy because I am a younger person, and so one of the biggest things I can't stand is that especially if you're in a room with a bunch of older people, they act very dismissive towards younger people. I definitely believe that you can learn and gain knowledge from people who are younger than you, just like you can with people who are much older than you. So I guess for the people who do kind of take my advice, or they come to me for advice, I do really appreciate that, because like I said, me being a younger person, some people, they might not take me seriously, or they might feel like, oh, he don't got a lot of experience, yada, yada, yada. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But the things that I've been doing in my life are some of the things that even people who are much older than me have not experienced in their life. So I definitely feel like you can learn from different people no matter what age. So I do appreciate those people who do kind of value my advice, or my thoughts on certain situations that go on in the Dominican Republic, or just about traveling and life in general. But guys, let me know your thoughts about this below. Like I said, this does not apply to every single Dominican person. I have to be serious when I say this because, like I said, I don't want to offend anybody's culture. I don't want to offend anybody's home, but I do have to say this in every single video because there are certain people that do take things I say the wrong way, and obviously that's not where I'm coming from. But guys, leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me about your situation and relationship. Another thing, stay away from transactionships because those can also be just as bad as relationships where you're doing everything out of a money transaction. You don't want to be locked down to a friendship or a relationship based off of money. So guys, let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and thank you for watching. Peace.
¡Quiero! ¡Quiero!